we was talking about the music, as far how it's more fast paced and all that.
Got it.
So like, is there like a generational gap between like the older, let's just say like like the 60, 70-year olds, and then like the 40-year olds, and then like down to like the 20-year olds?
Generational gap in taste for music,
and the just period in the urban communities, because like we don't really pass down gems. Say like somebody who's like really been to jail a couple times, whatever. It's like you kind of like shun him, and you like, dang, he not going, the knowledge I have, he not going use it anyway. So it's like I feel like a lot of the older generation, they don't really connect with the younger generation these days because of the music they listen to and just the way they act, and it's hard for them to relate to them. And some of them are scared of the younger generation, thinking they're going to steal from them or just watch them, and just stuff like that, just from the music that they listen to. And if you listen to this type of music, they stereotype you and think that you are like this.
I think one of the main reasons why the young generation and the old generation has some sort of a quote unquote generational gap is because, like you said, there's a couple of different people. There's some people who back in the day, they went to jail because they were in bad circumstances. They grew up in just an area where you just didn't have any, or you didn't feel like you had another way out. Or on the opposite side, the people that didn't go to jail, they feel like they didn't live out their life the way they should have because they were held back. And don't get me wrong, like our parents and our parents had a lot harder than us. So it was a lot harder for them to make it, quote unquote.
Right.
Or so they feel like I don't even have anything to pass down.
Right.
Most of the stuff I have to pass down is like just more oppression, just more like just go to job, just go to work and retire. And it's like they know deep down that's not the way it's supposed to be. So, but at the end of the day, they got a lot of pain in them, and it's just like it's a disconnect where as like the white community, a lot of them can pass down, oh look, I've been to school, I became a doctor, I was successful, hey, you should do this too. Because they have a lot of success,
and they can help you if you fail,
because they've been through it, right? So a lot of the stuff our parents went through, we'll never go through. Also, we have a lot of the opportunities our parents didn't have.
We can't really talk to nobody about how to start a podcast and how to keep it moving. We gotta kind of like look off the, like we have the internet.
Because a lot of the urban community had to do the extracurriculars to make it, whether that's playing basketball or rap, just because our parents and our parents didn't have as much opportunities in school
or time.
Right. So now we do. So we don't have the excuse to just rap and stuff or just make movies or whatever we do, or podcasts or whatever. We can be a doctor and lawyer and stuff like that. But the thing is, our parents maybe had the opportunity to be had less than us, and our parents had even way less, so they really couldn't pass on a lot of that to us, whereas the white communities could. So they had a lot of examples to pass down. So I think that creates a generational gap, because one, like I was saying, they either don't want to pass down the bad habits, or they just like are envious. It's like, man, y'all got all these opportunities that we didn't have.
Yeah. That comes into play, and I don't want to blame, but I could see it though. I could see like why they would feel that way, because it's like
they went through shit we can't even understand.
At the end of the day, their grandparents went through stuff that they didn't go through too. So it's like, I mean, even though things are faster and they feel like it's a lot better than it was back then.
Dog, our parents were born in the 60s.
And that wasn't their choice.
The 60s was civil rights.
Oh, hold on. I don't. We're gonna go back to civil rights, but why is it called 1865 again? Cause that's a hot concept, because that's like when the slaves was free and all that.
Is that when it was?
Yeah. So it's
it wasn't.
Yes, it was. So it's gonna catch, bro.
That wasn't. Slaves got freed in 1865.
Yes.
No.
It was 1865.
No. But mine's 1825. I'm sorry.
Oh, 1825.
1825.
Oh, okay.
1825 collection.
All right.
Because that's how many days are in 5 years.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
That's still cool though.
Yeah, but it sounds like crazy. But nah, it's because in 5 there's 365 days in a year. You times that by 5 is 8. It's 1825. So there's 8. So over the past 5 years, I've made hundreds of music. But I'm gonna pick like I got like 15 to 20.
Now,
I'm gonna drop.
It's a good time to drop it, especially
right around September.
With Hove dropping that 444.
September.
And just bringing up kind of like just like. You know what I mean? Just like the old time.
Like I'm not creating any more music.
No, I'm talking about the title though. 18.
Oh yeah.
Like
because it's definitely it's not like all drowned. Like it's not like super like hip hoppy either. Like it's definitely got like a good amount of turn up shit on there. But everything I'm talking about is like I'm not I'm talking, I've always, even if I'm talking about even if I got to turn up record, I'm talking about some regular shit I can relate to. So
I got
it's
you.
cool. Like
I got you.
Dog, taking away porn helped me realize, like, yo, dog, you made a lot of good music.
Right.
Don't let that. This helped me just.
Nigga, we've been telling you that.
Nah, but I'm just saying, like, it's fine for people to say that,
Right.
but also, like, creative processes is just like different. Like,
you're right.
It took 5 years to create a real project for me. You know what I'm saying?
Because quality is not just.
But like, if you listen to Meek's interview, he said he was talking about the song with Chris Brown and shit. He said he made that 3 years before he even met Nicki. You see what I'm saying? But it's on his album now, and that's how it be. Like, it takes you long, but we don't realize that because we see them popping. We don't realize that it took them a long time to make that project. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when's the last time you heard of Kendrick shit? Like, it was 3 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you hear stories like, I just made music 4 months ago, and now, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like, that's not how it really goes.
Up, bro.
Like, it just doesn't work that way.
That's just lottery shit.
It's lottery shit. But also, what happens if you look at the documentary, it'd be on one of them True TV or whatever, is like The Lottery Changed My Life. And you'll see, like, a lot of them fuck that money up because
a lot of them do.
You don't really appreciate. I mean, you do. It's easy to say you appreciate it, but just sometimes when you hit it like that and you don't really grind it, especially if you hit it when you 18, you know what I mean? Or you never even grind it for anything.
Yeah.
So when you hit the lottery, it's like, oh, I don't even know what it's like to put in work for something.
Being broke, you're like, damn.
So you fuck it up.
Like, we wouldn't lose it now because we know what it's like to just really not have it. You know what I'm saying? I want to get back to the civil rights with that, though. So what was we talking about, the civil rights? I ain't mean to go
no, we just talking about that back in the day. Like, think about it. Our parents was born in the 60s and 70s, right? That was, like, fresh out of civil rights. So they had it a lot harder than us, right?
Right.
So we can't blame them for not having an abundance of information to pass along. They can pass on life experiences and stuff, but and this is not to make excuses or anything, but
they was in the same
we were talking about there's
there's
a generation gap. The reason why there's more of a generation gap in an urban community is because for the most part in some of the Caucasian communities where their parents were able to get opportunities in the education system, they were able to be doctors and lawyers and architects where they can pass that on to their parents. It was less likely, not saying we couldn't, less likely for our parents and our parents to become an architect and doctor and stuff because they didn't have as many chances. So the things that they can pass on just isn't the stuff they probably want to pass on.
Even gold. Remember when they talking about them gold, when they used to move west to find gold and all that?
Yep.
That's why the West is probably so rich. Like, they probably just sitting on
natural
all that
gold, oil, railroad
from
tracks.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, cause they started moving. That's why they went over there, cause they heard it was a gold mine over there, and they used to go over there and mine and coal and all that shit.
Railroad.
And so now them families, appreciation, just sitting on that them gold and that. Man,
that's what Monopoly is. That's why the board game Monopoly is real life.
We gonna be them dudes though. Like, we gonna enjoy our fruits. Like, we ain't gonna have to work till. I think we're gonna be out of work by 30, to be honest with you.
That's 3 years.
To the point where we're gonna enjoy our fruits, but we're gonna build our families up too.
Because that's important to be able to. Because of course, like I said, our parents couldn't pass on the most information, but they were able to pass on a good amount. And our parents worked hard as shit,
keep us humble,
keep us afloat, keep us humble.
Yeah.
So it's our job, in order to do them honor, to take it to the next level and pass even more down to our kids.
Because we come from good families. You know what I'm saying? We didn't come from the most.
We have no excuse.
But we come from good families.
Right. We come from families where you seen that they didn't give up. They didn't give in to the bullshit. They worked. They bust their ass. They made sure on Christmas we had a little something. They made sure we were good going to school. They made sure we don't get in fucking trouble. You know what I mean? So it's like it's our job to continue to. But that's why there's a generational gap, I think, because the older generation just can't relate as much to the younger generation. Where in the other communities they can relate because they were so close knit from the beginning. They were able to
tell everybody's neighbors was watch you.
Most of the other communities, the parents wanted their kids to be like them because they're like, oh, I was successful. I'm a doctor. I want my kids to be a doctor. Our parents like, I don't want you to work for 50 years, bust your ass, and have to retire at 60 and your knees hurt and stuff.
Know what to tell us what else to do, but go be a doctor. And that's why I feel like the fact that we didn't really come from the most, but we kind of took the risk and jumped out on our own. But besides, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like at first, like, I wasn't really getting, the good feedback from my family because they wanted me to go work first, like, work till I'm 30, earn the shit, and then
That's all they
kind
knew.
of and then kind of if you want to branch off and do whatever you want to do, then go do that.
Yeah.
I kind of fucked up to the point where I was like, I didn't go build to the point where I can go get my own house and stuff yet, but I kind of like was building my business to the point where I kind of like made them accept it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To the point where I mean, I'm on my shit now where I'm trying to get my own stuff, but it's like back in the day I was still being young and dumb, but it was like I wasn't being young and dumb and getting fucking up. I was being young and dumb and ambitious about it though.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like that's why we come from a different cloth to the point where our family built us that way. You know what I'm saying?
Because we were able to see we were able to get passed down ethics like hard work and things like that.
Yeah,
we weren't able to see the hard work turn into something like serious.
Right.
So we were able to take the hard work, but we weren't able to really translate what it was going to do and where to put the hard work. Do I put it in basketball? Do I put it in college?
Even
do I put it in rap?
Even in high school,
where do I put it?
we was cool with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we did play ball. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We wasn't number 1, number 2 in the state, but we did play ball. We did have something about us that everybody had an aura.
We didn't have a true direction yet.
We just didn't have a true
we didn't
direction.
know where some of these other communities, they know, all right, I'm already in 8th grade, but I know I'm going to be a doctor.
Right.
Or my dad was an architect, or he ran his own business. I know I'm going to go and run his business with him. Like Donald Trump. Like, I know my pop going to look out for me, or I'm a trust fund baby, or we got a property management company, and I know when I'm fresh out of college, this is what I'm going to do.
Right.
We had to find our path.
Right.
Which is why we still finding it. And you doing, we did the rap, and I did the rap, and we do the podcast. But it's crazy because The Rock had a post online where he was saying like he wanted to be in the NFL, and then that didn't happen. But that was the greatest thing that never happened because he became a. And I was listening to something else, to some chick on the Breakfast Club, and she was in what's that called with Marsha Ambrosia. All you gotta do is say yes. What the fuck? So whatever. Floetry. Yeah. And she was in Floetry, and she was successful in music, and she was successful in radio, and she was successful in acting. And it was like you don't have to pigeonhole yourself into one thing. So one thing about knowing hard work and finding our path is we think, we just supposed to be just one thing, but you don't realize, you could do a lot of things as long as you place your
have the encouragement to do
dedication.
it. Like, I don't really feel like we had the courage. Well,
we can't blame them because they didn't see that
no,
work.
Right. They just think it's like a far fetched, like a dream.
You're right. It's so like far fetched.
So we didn't really have the push, but we still was like, we know we know what we have.
But we had enough to where they said, hey, if you want something, you got to go get it. But they knew there were certain things that was more quote unquote realistic.
Right.
We grew up and seen there's like growing up, probably our parents probably don't know somebody who chased a dream and got it.
Right.
But we see it like, that nigga Meek was just in Philly doing these free shows at the block party, and now
he's internet.
We're able to see quote unquote pipe dreams work.
Right.
Our parents really didn't. They seen Martin on TV, but they never seen Martin before
players.
TV. But I mean, how many people knew Jordan?
And they heard 8 years to be a doctor. It wasn't like, man, fuck that. I ain't taking 8 years to be a doctor.
Right. So they didn't like really. Yeah. So they were able to pass on a work ethic, but like I said, they also did. We didn't see a lot of examples of it, right?
Because like